And this is my review of the Feyachi M37 1.5 to 5 times magnification. And this is a red dot scope magnifier. This is the one that came after, which is just released for after the M36. I'm going to explain to you the changes they made. I have it on here. You know, it comes with, you know, your box, your cleaning rag, your booklet, your elevation, windage, screwdriver, your Allen key. It's packaged pretty good. So the difference between the M36 and M37, I've had it here for a couple of days. I put about 5 magazines through it. Shot up to a 150, 175 feet. And I'm going to explain to you what I felt and what I seen, my pros and the cons. Okay, so basically a lot of it is the same, but because of they added an eyepiece to it, so the M36 was not adjustable. The M37 is adjustable. The difference as far as the length is the M36 was 120 millimeters. This one is 132. So that's only 12.5 millimeters longer. The net weight of the M36 was 206 grams. This one is 253 grams, so that's not much. They both had the fully molted coated lens coating. The eye relief hasn't changed too much. It was 91.55 on the M36. The M37 to me has a way better eye relief. Don't get me wrong, the M36 is an awesome magnifier. Feyachi makes some really good stuff. They actually make stuff that's up there with the big name brands or even better. But I really am enjoying the M37, and I'll explain to you why. On the M36, when you went up to magnification, when you went up to magnification to, let me just slide this over a little bit. When you went up to magnification above 3, your field of view will close in and get a little blurry at times depending on where you was trying to focus at. I was using this between 3 and 5, where the M36 was having that issue of the window closing. This is where I was using it most of the time, between 3 and 5, and that focus ring took that issue right out. It did not close on me. You know, it was not noticeable. If it was there, I didn't notice. It wasn't something that my eye caught on to right away. I mean, I was able to adjust it. I was able to get my focus in real good, and it just worked out, pretty good. It was a big difference between the M36 and M37, because the M37, like I said, you would lose, that field of view at a 3 to 5, which was fine because that 1.5 and 3 was very clear. But for going for a very long distance, this M37 solved that by putting that that eyepiece in there. Wow, it changed it, and I'm happy with that because I like to shoot long range at small objects, and just with the magnifier, with the eyepiece, it was really clear. Another thing you have to think about is your distance, your eye relief from the magnifier to the back. So when you're adjusting your when you're adjusting your focus ring, right, you also have to adjust your eye relief. You just, to me, that's how I work it. I sit where I'm at, and if I adjust the focus, I slide back or slide forward a little bit, and it helps that shrinkage of your field of view. But this M37 is at 37 millimeters from the base to the top. so they both have the same amount from your base right to the middle of of the ocular lens is 37 millimeters. It says this puts out the dot height at the center, absolute. Sight pictures when you co-witness with standard iron sights. I also used it with the Feyachi RD22, which is, a way smaller red dot sight, and I also didn't have any issues with it. Besides, I had to, make sure that I had it lined up perfectly so I didn't get any shadows on the side. One con that I do have with it is that I wish that they would figure out a way to make it adjustable up, down, left, or right. When you get them, the lock is usually on your left side, so you can swing it to the left. So when I had it that way, I couldn't get it to line up. So what I did was switch it around, and I'm going to show you the two screws here. Right here, you loosen those, and that gives you the ability, let me back up here, gives you the ability to go up and go down where you can get a better line up here, which is fine because I'm left-handed. Makes it much easier for me to grab it, move it out of my way, and continue doing, and then just grab it and put it back, and I'm good, So for me, it's easier, but for some people, it won't. Just grab it like that. But if you're having an issue with the adjustment, just loosen these two screws, and you can bring it up, which will line you up, or you can bring it down if it's not working too good for you on the, when you have this lock on the left side. So I moved it to the right side, and if you notice, that is pretty dead on. And you always want to leave a little bit of light there. It helps with the way that you're going to see through it. So, as far as the M37, for anybody that has the M36 and had that issue, Feyachi fixed it with the M37. It made a huge, huge difference with having that focus lens. The focus adjustment, it solved it. It solved all that, shrinkage that you had. So here's the differences that you had, which, if you notice, the only thing is that focus ring, which made a huge difference. But both of them, don't get me wrong, the M36 is still a very good magnifier if you will use it between 1 and 3. If you will go be higher between, 3 to 5, you will have that, your, field of view, it'll shrink in a little bit. But with the M37, it doesn't even happen, because you put it on 5 and you just, adjust your, focus ring, and it keeps it right at that same window, just like if it was on 1.5. Alright, so this is my review of the Feyachi M37. I'm good with it. Like I said, the only con that I have is that I wish that they had more of an adjustment, or at least put it in a book where people know that if you're having an issue lining it up when it's on the right side, just switch it around and use some screws on the left side so you can adjust it, because if it don't line up, it's not going to line up unless you switch it around and you use those two screws, and you can bring it up and down. But besides that, I'm happy with it. A couple of days it didn't lose zero on me, and like I said, I put about 4 to 5.5 mags, somewhere around there, because I use it also on 9mm carbine. And that one, I shot about 150 rounds to it and didn't lose. So I wanted to use it between 9mm, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 6 to see if it would change. And when it came in, it was basically zeroed in. I didn't have to move my elevation and my wind is too much. because it just takes a little tiny turn, and it actually lines up pretty nice with it. You know, after a couple of shots, you know, you can it falls right into place. All right. Thank you so much for watching this review. So once again, this is the Feyachi M37. Check it out. It's a nice upgrade from the M36. M36 is also a great magnifier. And here we go with the new M37.